In this video, I'm going to share with you why a Brie fat fast is a lot easier and more powerful tool for fast weight loss as compared to a sardines fast. So why should you listen to me? I have a doctorate, a PhD in nutrition and exercise physiology from the University of Miami. I have a master's in nutrition and dietetics. I'm a licensed dietitian, a certified personal trainer, and I've taught for over a decade at all of these major universities, Miami-Dade College, DeVry University, the American College of Sports Medicine, and also the University of Miami for 5 years. And I've coached hundreds of clients. You can find the testimonials on my website. Also, more importantly, I've lost 30 pounds and managed to maintain it. So let's talk about why a Brie fat fast is more powerful for fast weight loss than a sardines fast. Sardines are too high in protein. Like I mentioned in the original video that I filmed on a Brie fat fast, I will link that video at the end of this video. And I show you the macros and I show you how sardines have way more protein and less fat as compared to a Brie fat fast, which is going to trigger more insulin spikes. And the more insulin spikes and the higher they are, the slower the rate of fast fat loss. And so it is a slower fat loss with a sardines fast. And check out the Brie fasting video that has more detailed information on the macros. Now, another thing is that a Brie fat fast is a lot better tasting than a sardines fast. So if you are trying to do a 3 to 5 day fast weight loss diet using Brie, because that's usually what I recommend for those kinds of fasts, no more than 3 to 5 days, it's going to be so much easier to stick to a sardines fast. And it's not going to tank your dopamine levels very quickly as compared to doing a sardines fast, especially if you haven't done the work yet on raising your baseline dopamine levels, like I go over in my brain rehab protocol where I outline them in my brain bundle guides on my website. So another thing is that a Brie fat fast is going to slow down potentially rates of cancer growth. There was a study that showed that leukemia cells, their rate of growth slowed down tremendously when they added Brie cheese and other ripened cheeses to a test tube that contained those cancer cells. Also, a Brie fat fast or Brie cheese is very anti-inflammatory. It contains a high amount of this highly anti-inflammatory fat called CLA or conjugated linoleic acid that may have powerful anti-cancer properties. Now, some of the comments on my previous video mentioned the omega-3s in sardines. And sure, it's great, that you get the omega-3s. The problem is that the goal of these kinds of short fasts is to lose a lot of weight really quickly and reverse insulin resistance really quickly. So you could do a sardines fast, but it's not going to reverse insulin resistance or drop body fat as quickly as doing a Brie cheese fat fast. And we're not really doing this for life, whereby we have to be very careful about all of the nutrients because you can't eat just one food for the rest of your life and think that you're not missing any other nutrients. So sardines fasting is really not easy to stick to, even for 1 or 2 days. It's very difficult. It doesn't taste as good. It doesn't deepen your state of ketosis, so your brain doesn't have enough ketones to run on to feel good and have enough energy so you can stick to the fast. Now, what are some nutrient benefits on a Brie cheese fat fast? 1 ounce contains 20% of your daily value for vitamin B12. This is very helpful for mental health, really helpful for creating the dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, all of those really powerful mood regulators that boost your mood. Also, Brie cheese is high in vitamin B2 or riboflavin. It contains calcium. It contains the active form of vitamin A, which is great for skin health and so many other benefits. Also, something that I'm really excited about Brie fat fasting is that it has higher ketone generation. So it deepens your state of ketones. It allows your body to release a ton of ketones very quickly, very powerfully. And so your brain starts to run on this very powerful fuel source, which are ketone bodies. And so it puts you in a better mood, and you have more energy and less cravings. And the protein and the high fat content in Brie cheese improves your fullness feelings. Again, it's just so much easier to stick to. For the amount, it's usually around 10 ounce, but you can again go back to the first original video and watch it where I go in step-by-step process how to do it. Also, Brie cheese is high in vitamin K2. It's just particularly high in this vitamin, which is critical for lowering the risk of heart disease, calcification of organs. It lowers the risk of kidney disease, and it lowers risk of weak, brittle bones or osteoporosis. Vitamin K2 is absolutely critical that you ingest from the diet, especially if you're taking vitamin D supplements, because vitamin K2 allows the vitamin D's work that leads to higher calcium absorption. It allows it to work better. In other words, if you're taking vitamin D supplements, your body starts to retain and absorb a lot of calcium from your diet. But in the absence of vitamin K2, that could be a problem because the calcium doesn't know where to go. You need kind of like a chaperone or a taxi that guides calcium and puts it where it's supposed to be in your bones and away from your organs. And vitamin K2 allows that function to occur. And this is why if you are deficient in vitamin K2, then all of the excess calcium you're now absorbing, because you're taking vitamin D supplements, as most of us are, all this calcium now goes and kind of hangs around in your blood vessels. And that is a recipe for disaster because it starts to calcify your organs and it doesn't really go into your bones where it's supposed to. So risk of osteoporosis or weak and brittle bones continues to occur. The beautiful thing about Brie cheese is that it's so high in vitamin K2, higher than liver even. So a 2-ounce Brie cheese portion is going to give you 31 micrograms of vitamin K2. And the recommendation for vitamin K2 is around 100 to 300 micrograms per day for adults and 50 micrograms per day for kids. So for a child, 2-ounce Brie serving gives you pretty much most or 2/3 of your Brie of your vitamin K2 needs. So variety is important in your diet, and so this is why you don't want to live on Brie cheese for the rest of your life, and that's why I don't recommend going on this kind of fast for more than 3 to 5 days at one time. In one time. I explain why in the original video, so definitely again check it out. So to recap, why is a Brie fast better than a sardines fast? It is a far more powerful fat loss tool. It leads to lower insulin spikes because it has less protein and higher fat, so your insulin is far lower, and this is what allows the ketone levels to go up in reverse. And so by doing that, it reverses insulin resistance a lot faster and a lot more powerfully. And it leads to much better mood because it doesn't deplete your dopamine as compared to a sardines fast. And it leads to lower cravings because when your mental health is better on a Brie fat fast as compared to a sardines fast, you're going to have far less cravings. It is so much easier also to stick to a Brie fat fast than it is to stick to sardines, which a lot of people almost gag when they try to eat that. And something that I really love is that it deepens that state of ketosis, which really, really speeds up fat loss in a very easy way. So it's like really fast weight loss and really easy weight loss. And for more information, if you want to work with me, drsarahzaldivar.com/coaching for one-on-one coaching, drsarahzaldivar.com/shop for the guides, especially the brain bundle that I feel is more relevant to what we're talking about, which contains the 3 guides. Dopamine Brain that has the brain rehab protocol. One third of the brain rehab protocol is in Dopamine Brain, where we talk about the use of special types of exercise to increase the number of dopamine receptors known as D2 receptors, and thus raising baseline dopamine levels. And then the monster mindset, which has the visualization element, which is the mind element of how also we can raise baseline dopamine. And finally, monster mind, the supplements, which contains the supplements. And then check out here, I will link the original Brie fat fasting video so you can check it out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this kind of content, make sure you let me know, and I will create more content surrounding this topic.